Shalom, Michael here, Street Corner Ministry in Church, Gilbert, Arizona. Uh, may Yudavave Baruch you, bless you, and may Yeshua fill your everlasting hearts. Uh, this is the most wonderful gift of the sign of the end times. I've done a teaching on this before, but one more thing come in to put in alignment. I think this is a total of 5 witnesses that I bring forth. One of them is through the astronomy program of Stellarium, where the sun, the moon, and the stars, you can go forth to the beginning of time or whatever that might be, Yeshua's death or whatever, and you can go to the future as far as you want to go. So I'm trying to let people know that within all this blessing, there's I've been studying 16 years morning, noon, and night, just to make this quick. I've been learning Hebrew morning, noon, and night since 2008. I've had no drugs, no alcohol, and I've been celibate, no women this whole time or whatever. It's meant for man to have woman, woman to have man, but I just chose the biblical text in Yeshua. I've been baptized in the Ruach, in the water. I confess him as Messiah. I try to keep the commandments the best I can. I do a good job on keeping the commandments. The Sabbath is one thing, but Yeshua's our Sabbath, right? Well, if he's our Sabbath, we're not to talk about our own words or do our own ways or whatever. So that's Isaiah 58:14. If you call the Sabbath a delight, not speaking your own words, not doing your own ways. So I try to bring forth a witness on the Sabbath, but one day is going to happen. The feasts and the festivals, they all hold true forever and ever. Olam, olam. It's just the fact. And it's not Easter, Christmas, and Sunday worship that's in the Bible. That's the Roman Catholic paganism, and you need to do your research. But the end times. The first time, I'm not going to show you anything on the board. I'm just going to tell you how I get there. All but this last witness. Okay, first, I did a calculation of Matthew 1, where it's 14 generations from Abraham to David, 14 generations from Abraham to David, 14 generations from David to the Babylonian takeover, 14 generations from Babylonian takeover to Yeshua the Messiah being nailed to the cross, or a birth forth. My point being is that you take 14 times 3, you get 42. Yeshua also says that this generation will not pass before they see the coming of the Son of Man. Well, that generation did pass, so a lot of the sages say he was prophesying about Israel being born again in 1948. So you take 42 and divide 4,000 years when he was nailed to the cross, you get 95 point something. And it's amazing. So we'll just say 95 years. You take 95 years plus 1948, you get 2043. Now, the Stellarium program that I come across, I advanced the clock to 2038. There is more than a crown of 12 stars in Virgo constellation. A lot of planets in alignment with the head of Virgo. In 2040, there is twice as many planets as in 2038. So, I think that's the start of something. Whenever you get that many, if that program's whenever you get that many planets in alignment with the Earth in the Virgo, you're going to see catastrophical increases, most likely, not a good thing, in earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes, hurricanes, volcanoes. All these things are going to increase. So that's in 2040. If you take 95 plus 1948, you get 2043. Significant, maybe a start of something. Okay, Pastor Mark Biltz brought this up. So there's 2, Stellarium and the genealogy of Matthew. Now we're going to the third one, which is Pastor Mark Biltz bringing up that Jacob wrestled with Elohim and man and preserved and prevailed. He got his name changed to Israel. He was 97 years old when that happened. So 97 plus 1948, as Israel's always been wrestling with since the day it was created, wrestling with Elohim and man, and prevailing, you take 97 plus 1948, you get 2045. Now, the Hebrew calendar, which is significant, real close there, a couple years apart, amazing. So now you have the sages tell you, the fourth one, is the sages tell you that maybe they lost a couple hundred years in Babylon. So the Hebrew calendar at this point, from the gift of Adam being created, or the beginning of Genesis, is 5,781. So that means we still have 219 years to go before we get to the 6,000 year millennial, the 6,000 year, where 6 olives in the first sentence of the Bible representing the plan of man's reign upon earth. The 6th and 7th is the millennial reign with the Mashiach, Yeshua coming back, and we'll reign with him 1,000 years. The 7th and 8th is new heaven and new earth. You can see this in the first sentence of the Bible, let alone what the sages teach or whatever. Now I know you're going to say Yeshua says no man knows, not even the angels. I'm okay, but he reveals nothing until he reveals to his servants first. And if you ask of him, he will tell you, right? So I'm just using his word there. But anyway, within all that, if we lost a couple hundred years, that would mean we'd have like 19 years left to go. So we're at 2021 right now. 2031 plus 9 is 2040. So that's another significant thing. If they lost a couple hundred years in Babylon, that's the fourth one. Now, here's the fifth one with Pastor Mark Biltz, bringing up, it's a little short 11-minute teaching. It's what do the 7-year Shemitah cycles have to do with Daniel's 70 week? Well, Pastor Mark creates the little building blocks here, and he has the Shemitah cycles of when they started as of in 2014. Well, here in the last one is, 2014-15 starting here, and then right here we have 20, 29, 20, 30. So if you do another Shemitah cycle, you get 2037 or 2036, 2037, and then you take another 7 upon that. What is that? 6 plus 4, 29 to 30, 29, 36 to 37. So you add another 7 years upon that, you get 2043 or 2044. So that's the Shemitah cycle, ending up right there in the last 4 witnesses that I gave you, all biblically clear other than the stellarium, which is the crown of 12 stars in Virgo. Something happens in Virgo, right? And you have the sages thinking they lost a couple hundred years. But this here is of course, it's Pastor Mark Biltz's teaching, but 2043 being from 2029 to 2030, add 7 years, you get 20. No, I did that wrong. Add 7 years, you get 2036 to 2037, right? Add another 7 years, and there you get the 36 plus 7, 2043, 2044. So within all that, I hope that I'll click this on here.
Is the Hebrew year 5775. Now remember, the Shemitah year is the 7th year of the 7-year cycle. So 5775 began on Rosh Hashanah of 2014 through 2015. The next Shemitah year
is right there.
will begin on Rosh Hashanah of 2021, 2022. The next Shemitah year
you need to watch this if you can. And within all that, again, may Yodavave bless you, and may Yeshua fill your everlasting hearts. I hope you gather it. I hope you chew on it. I hope you do the research yourself. Don't trust in man, you know. You got to trust in the Bible. And he's not changing. Yeshua said heaven and earth will pass before his word is done away with, or one jot or one tittle. So it's time to wake up, people. Within all that, may Yodavave Baruch you again, and may Yeshua bless your everlasting hearts with his joy, knowing that we're created eternal, we're here to do good works, and we're here to get out of here. You know, that's the main thing. Who wants to live in a chaotic world of a mess? Even the rich are not even comfortable right now. You know what? And I got to give this. This is amazing to me. The belly god is very strong, false god. Let me say it that way. As Yeshua said, hey, your God is your belly. You know what I mean? But you'll see people wearing face masks in their car, but yet they'll go to a restaurant and sit at a table and take the face mask off to eat. Now, to me, this is unbelievable. And for me, how do I want to say, spiritually filled to proclaim that this so-called whatever it is can only last 6 feet and it dies, it's kind of like, I've never heard of anything like this. But, hey, I'm not the boss. Yeshua is. Yeshua is the boss. I just gave you a couple verses in a video before about Isaiah 12:6, the facial covering, and Ezekiel 12:6, the facial covering, and Isaiah 29:1 to cover. And, you know, it's time to wake up, people. Shalom, shalom.